This happened about 2 years ago. I was so blown away I took notes and told my wife about it. I still have the notes on my phone. My 5-year-old son was pretty typical for his age. Always goofing around, never serious. And always working some angle to negotiate treats, or buying whatever thing at the top of his list that week. Kids have a selfish worldview, and that's understandable because they haven't matured yet. So when my son asked me to go for a walk, just the two of us, I immediately laughed and thought, okay, what's he going to ask for? We start walking and I ask, what's on your mind, buddy? He said, nothing really, I just want to have some time to be with you. And be peaceful and be out in nature. Wow, okay, this is progress, I thought. Then he said, I want you to know you're the best dad I've ever had. You really do help me and my sister a lot, and you're really very nice, even though we don't usually tell you. So, I just wanted to say thank you for everything and that I want to be near you always. By this point, the only reason I wasn't completely crying my eyes out was that I thought it was some kind of a joke. Or lead up to ask for something. This was totally out of character, especially at this age. I managed to croak out something like, I'm really glad to hear that, and I love you very much. Then we just enjoyed the rest of the walk. It really felt like for a moment I was speaking to a soul that had lived several lives. Referring to his comment, you're the best dad I've ever had. And he wanted to speak directly to me, instead of playing the role of a child. I'm so glad it happened and it's something I will never forget. Later, he went right back to being the same old goofy kid that I love. To make this brief, my older brother died in 2000. Prior to this, he once was driving me in his Jeep, when I was about 10 years old. In the Jeep, he had the Song 2, by Blur, playing in his car. He was dancing while driving, waving his arm saying, Wahoo! I've kept this memory alive by having my license plate as Wahoo! Today, I met a random stranger at a hockey game. The hockey game happened to play the same song, and this girl turned to me and said, my older brother played this one in his Jeep. I was completely confused and thought I heard her wrong at first. I said, say that again, I didn't quite hear you. And she literally repeated it again. She then went on to explain her brother died in 2000, and I asked her what her license plate said. She said that it says, Wahoo, and she's from New Hampshire. What are the odds this would happen?
My mom died 13 years ago. About 4 years ago my dad was on vacation in Arizona, with his girlfriend. He said he was up, watching TV, and the hotel phone rang. He answered it, and said it was my mom's voice saying, I'm okay. Confused, he asked, Cass? And he said the phone was crackly and she said, tell Heather, me, that I am okay. He said his girlfriend was confused about why the phone rang. My dad immediately called me, even though it was late, and he was crying. My dad doesn't believe in the supernatural, but still to this day, can't explain that call. About 30 seconds ago, I was sitting on the couch, as my dog walked by to go sit on her bed. We have it behind the yellow part of the sectional. She had something small caught in her throat last night, I think a popcorn shell. So I was paying attention to her breathing just to make sure she got it out. For a few minutes, she was breathing fine, and then what sounded like a light snore started happening. This is semi-normal for her depending on what position she's laying in, so I didn't bother to go over and check on her. That went on for about 5 minutes, until the most disgusting, and in my now realization, terrifying, snore/cough/wheezing sounds started happening. I go over to her to make sure she's okay, and the exact moment I looked at her bed the sound stopped, mid-breath. She wasn't there. She was outside with my parents, and had been for the past 30 minutes. There's no way to get out of the room without walking right past me. I don't know whose dog I saw, or what was making that creepy ass sound 5 feet away from me. But I'm going to be staying outside for the rest of the day and I'll be hiring an exorcist too. Update, and I appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to comment, although I don't think I'll be able to sleep again for the same reason. I was 17 at the time. My dad and I had just finished our fishing trip, and it was almost midnight. When I was about to get in the car, he told me that he didn't want me to sit in the front seat on the ride home. We argued about it for about 5 minutes, and he didn't give any reason as to why. I gave up and got in the back seat. It was pitch black outside, and we had been driving on the main road for about 2 minutes, when we saw a car driving in our lane. Right as we were about to collide, my dad swerved into the other lane, and so did the car in front of us. I heard my dad say, "I knew it," at the very last second, and then I blacked out. I woke up when police showed up at the scene. They helped me out of the car. I was barely conscious, and don't remember much after that. The only thing that is still crystal clear in my mind, is that I saw my dad. He was sitting in the car, waving at me with tears in his eyes. When I later asked where my dad was, I was told that he had flown out of the car window and landed only a few feet from the car. He passed away later in the ambulance. I was told the man we crashed with died on impact, and also had a 17-year-old daughter in the backseat who survived. I still can't believe that this really happened. This was 6 years ago. Update: and I believe the gut feeling he had was that something terrible was about to happen. And if someone had to die, he chose himself, instead of me. Therefore, I believe he decided not to put the seatbelt on. I also believe that it was a spirit saying goodbye, since he wasn't able to. Hi all! Let me preface this by saying there has always been creepy shit happening around me. I have several stories at my dad's old house, which myself and my siblings all agree is haunted. I also had my dead best friend visit me twice, which was nice. So this evening, my partner and I were upstairs sorting laundry, when his daughter called us downstairs for dinner. I was heading down the stairs, my partner right behind me, literally 2 steps behind me. He did his usual thing of tickling the back of my neck as we walked. The bottom of our stairs is wooden, so you can hear when somebody steps onto it from the carpeted stairs. When we got to the bottom, my feet hit the floor as usual. I turned to ask him something, and he wasn't there. He wasn't fucking there. I totally froze for a second, looked up the stairs, and there he was. On the top step, pale and shaking. I asked him what the fuck just happened, and he kept saying, I don't know, I was behind you, and before I hit the bottom, the next step took me back upstairs. We are very freaked out. We didn't say shit to our girl, as she is already leery of this stuff. Although he and I are somewhat used to it. I'm trying to get the courage to leave my laptop recording audio overnight, because there definitely is something weird happening. Edited to add, I was just talking to my partner about the jump while we were cleaning our bedroom. The second he made a joke about, spooks say pop in, our bedroom and bathroom doors slammed shut, one after the other. I'm chalking it up to our bedroom window being open a crack. I don't want to think of alternatives,